really great. The French fans are different than the rest of the European fans, but in a way that we love. They're a little bit more passionate. I mean, to be honest, the fans are really good everywhere, but maybe it's just France has a special place for me, so that's why it feels really good to be here. But Élysée Montmartre is a very beautiful venue too, so that also contributes.
I thought it was pretty good. I think they went across well. It's hard to tell. I mean, this is our first kind of time playing them a lot, so it's still a work in progress, but we like it, and I think it's going really good. I think so. I think definitely. I think you have to write for where you are or where you want to be. And I think that we thought we think we should be playing arenas, so we tried to write songs more for that. And it was just more to put together an eclectic bunch of songs that allowed us to go in whatever direction we want for our next record. I mean, we just didn't want to be put in a box. We just wanted to be able to explore and see what we can do, see how far we can push it and wherever we can go. I think, well, they did 3 of the songs, and another producer, Dan Weller, did a lot of the bulk of the album. But the songs they did were the ones we shot, the radio single kind of songs. And we went with them because that's what they do. They basically do radio songs. And Gavin has many hits with many, many, many bands. And so we thought, why not give it a go? Like, have a try and see if we can do the radio thing, because who knows? You know, we might as well, jump in with both feet, take a risk. And, yeah, it's great. I mean, Maya's pretty much a vocal producer, and she did a great job with me and our lyrics and everything else. She's actually French, and it was funny enough, she'll probably come over here soon. But, yeah, it was a fantastic experience, and I think we went with the purpose of making radio songs. And I think when you have a vision that clear, it's easy to execute, even if it doesn't turn out. It turned out great, exactly how we wanted it, but whether we wanted it or not is still up in the air. Oh, perhaps. I mean, right now, we spent a ridiculous amount of money on our last record, so now it's about keeping the costs kind of down. Because with having producers with such merit, they cost a lot of money. So it's the only real downside with working with big producers. But yeah, well, we're gonna try and do whatever works best for us in this situation. I mean, it all comes down to the vibe of the whole situation. And I think everything is different. So maybe not. Who knows? I mean, it's such things change every day for us. So,
and we're still learning, I think. And so, who knows who we will work with and what we will learn from that experience. Yeah, I think we're having fun doing it, and the band is getting better. So, as long as we continue to do these things, then I think it will be okay.
Yeah, it is.
What about
isn't it?
Thornley?
Oh no, we had Ian Thornley from Big Wreck was on our last record. But yeah, it's our first
vocal feature.
Yeah. It's the first time anyone else has ever sung on a record besides us. But yeah, it was awesome. And Dee's a pro, and he's an incredible person, and we're really lucky to have him do it. So yeah, it was a great experience. He approached us and said he liked our band, and Dee was like, "Oh yeah, you guys are awesome." And he had he was doing a musical, a Christmas musical in Toronto. So I went and met him and hung out with him for a while, and then we wrote the song and we had this part, and I'm like, "Well, I want to have some kind of preachery type thing in here, because why not? It's fun." And we're like, "Well, we need to get someone else to do it," because I didn't want to do it. I was just like, you know what, it's better if I don't. And then we thought, why don't we just ask Dee? So I called him and he said, okay. So it's really usually, I hope it's always that easy for people, because it was so simple. And it's like, sure, no problem. All right, cool. We'll send you the track. I think it's just whatever you feel works best for you. As long as you just be yourself, and that's kind of the way it is. Because like, rock and roll's not like popular right now, and people aren't. It's not like. It's just do whatever you feel is best. Is kind of what the message was. Like whether it be be comfortable in your own skin, basically, and have fun. And if whatever you feel as a true rocker is one, because it's a joke. It's made up, so you can be whatever you want. So I kind of one of those things where it's like interpret it yourself and enjoy it.
But just be true.
Yeah.
That's the only part.
Of course. But like be true. Yeah, true to yourself. True to yourself. Do whatever you want. Don't hurt anybody. That's it. Good.
We have been planning and talking about a live album for years now, but of course it hasn't happened because we're lazy sometimes, or we get a really good idea but we just don't push it through. But one day we will do this. We kind of also wanted and spoke to do like a DVD as well, or like to have the video as well as the audio. So one day we will do this, but we want to make it right. And that opportunity hasn't come along, but we have been speaking of this for many years.
We'll see how it goes. I mean, we're always writing songs. I already have a bunch for the next one, and I think everyone's got a lot of ideas. Blues would be great, but I think we just want to focus on more roots kind of things in the next one, rather than more of a modern rock approach. I think I like modern hard rock and everything on metal and stuff, but it'd be kind of nice to do something that you could just relax and listen to. So we'll see how it goes. I mean, it's really, there will be blues on the record. There always is. So it's kind of like one of those things where you don't know what you've got until you're finished, So we'll keep writing, and we usually write when we're doing the touring, because what else are we doing, right? If you're sitting around all day, you might as well be writing songs. So it's mostly just at the end of this, we'll see what we got and carve one out. Well, I just say this all the time, but there's a album called Heaven and Earth by Kamasi Washington. He's like a jazz. I guess he's just a jazz guy with a huge band, but it's really interesting and it sounds very 70s and cool. So that's what I'd recommend. You should get on it. It's fun. It's the Wild West. No, it's fine. It's normal. It's exactly the same as it was.
It's a little more prevalent in the streets, though. People are smoking more openly in the streets, which is kind of amazing, because it's been many years of wishing this would happen, and now that it's finally happened, it's kind of cool. Of course, we were only there for a few weeks. Before,
we don't know what it's like now. It could be chaos.
Yeah.
No, but it's weird too. It's government run. So it's, they had websites you could buy it from. There was no stores. There was only a website you could get it from, and you get it from the mail. And like a week into them having legal weed, they ran out. And then a month after they got it back, the post office went on strike. So, I'm sure it's been a hassle, but it doesn't really change anything. I don't know. I think whether it be legal or not, I think it's always been kind of influencing our albums. But yeah, it doesn't really change much for us. I mean, when you think about it, in our minds, it was never. Cannabis was always everywhere. It's Canada. It's just how it was. Like, you never had a problem finding it. And it's just, even when we were kids, it just doesn't. It's one of those things. It's like having a beer. So, yes, it will be prevalent the next album.
Well, we're gonna come back and do pretty much the same tour that we're doing now with Blackstone Cherry, but as a headline one. So, but when we come to France, it'll be 2 shows instead of just one. So it'll be Sauvigny Le Temple, I think, is one, and then Vaureal is the other one. So as far as France goes, we'll have more shows, which is great. But then I think we hopefully will come back again, maybe for sometime in the summer for some festivals. I know we're missing all the big ones, but maybe we'll get on some smaller ones. And then we would love to come back in the fall and do some B-market cities and stuff. So we want to come back as much as we can. So
it's going to be a very busy year.
Yes.